All right, so here we go. This video is going to be really different than any other video I've ever done. And this is mainly for me. If anyone can get anything out of it, that's awesome. If you don't and you want to bypass this video, that's totally fine too. But I'm doing this for me because I am at a point in my life where I need things to move in another direction. I need things to progress. Not to say that I haven't progressed in the past in any way, because everywhere I've been, everything that I've been through, everything that I've done, good, um, bad, ugly, everything that I've gone through, I can look back and easily know that I've been blessed and know that everything is for a reason. But right now we're into 2024, and the world is in shambles. And in the meantime, I would like to enjoy life. And I'm realizing more now than ever that I don't know how to do that. Um, I'm tired of struggling. I have done a lot of different things and I've learned a lot of different things. I'm still learning a lot of different things. Um, you know, I'm extremely creative. I love to write. I love to draw. I love to paint. I love to bake and cook. And I had a baking business for over 15 years, where I did novelty cakes and decorated cakes and desserts and events and weddings and things like that. I loved all of it. And right around 2020, right around the time of the pandemic, I was living in South Florida. And that's when, obviously, that's when the pandemic hit. But it's also when rents started getting ridiculous. Like I was in a one-bedroom apartment with a den, um, have two children who I raised on my own. And my daughter had just graduated high school at that time. I have a son who was just entering high school. And my rent for this one-bedroom apartment was going up several $100s. And I was like, you know what? This is for the birds. This is for the absolute birds. So I was going through a difficult time there, but I was also going through a time because I had lost someone very close to me. I had just been going through a lot of things on top of I would get COVID and then my child might get COVID. And then it was just a lot. Okay. And then so I didn't renew my lease, and I didn't know where I was going to go. Like I thought that after 40, or what was I? How old was I then? I was like, yeah, I was about 40 years old. I thought I was going to have to pack up with my grown children and my grown self and go and live with my mother until I figured this out. And I was like, this cannot be the way. Like, this absolutely cannot be the way and the end of it. And so eventually, it had to be like 2 weeks before I had to be out of my apartment, by the grace of God. And I found a place who accepted me to rent. It was a house, so that was great because we had the space that I always wanted. I always said, when I get a bigger space, then I'll be able to do more. I'll be able to take more orders. Mind you, I'm still working 9 to 5, and I was working 9 to 5 remotely, which was even better. But um, then I got here, I got to where I am now, a lot more space. Yes, it's more expensive than what I was paying before, but if they were going to raise my rent to that amount anyway, I might as well get the space that I needed, right? And so we're out here. It does feel a lot more peaceful. It's definitely a different culture out here, so that is interesting to deal with. I'll maybe talk about that um, in another video. But I got out here and I'm like, yay, I got the space that I needed. I should be able to start doing videos, cooking videos. I should be able to start doing more orders. And I was so beat down from the COVID stuff. I was so beat down from losing my family member. Family members. Um, I was so beat down from just doing so much of a little bit of everything so that I didn't have to focus on what I'm doing right now, and deal with it, and working 9 to 5 and trying to hustle and bustle and make the bills. And, a lot of my extra income that was coming in from those cakes, mind you, as the pandemic started, dropped. Like I was doing orders every single weekend. I was doing, as soon I would clock out of work and I was working on orders. I was shopping for orders. I was doing them all through the weekend. Like it was a lot. And so when I moved here, I was like, yeah, great. I have the space. I can do all this stuff now. And I came out here and I kind of put it out there a little bit. Um, And when I came out here and thought of doing that, I got some good responses. Hey, you do great work. I would love to, get a quote and this and that, which is fine. But then you also had some people who was like, out here, we're really competitive and out here, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, not that that has ever scared me or made me like pull back on what I'm doing because I don't compete. Like I've when I was doing business, when I was doing my cake business, if there was something I didn't have time to do, I would easily be like, hey, I don't have room for you, but I do know somebody who's really good. Let me go ahead and I'll share their information. And, if you need anything or you need any advice, like I believe in sharing information. I think it's only going to help you. But that is not what I was meant with out here, which is fine because I kind of now looking back, I feel like that was God just saying child rest because that's exactly what I did. I stopped putting orders. I stopped, putting it out there that I would do orders. And I was like, I just rested. I was tired. I was physically tired, mentally tired. Still working the same job because I work remote. So I was able to stay there. I moved up a little bit in the company that I'm in. And it's not that I don't want to bake anymore. Most people would always say, hey, you should open a bakery. And it's a lot. It's a lot when you have to have a steady income. So I'm working 9 to 5, and throughout the 15 years that I do, throughout the 15 years that I had been running my baking business, the majority of that time I did have a full-time job. There were some periods where I went part-time at my so-called main job and did the cakes full-time or that. But it was hard. It was very difficult. It's very difficult when you have children and when you have people who depend on you. Like if it was just me, I probably would have dealt with, living in a really, really small apartment and eating rice and beans and doing this, that, and the other just to make this business work and take off. But when you have kids and you have those needs and you have to, you have people depending on you, it's a little bit different. But anyway, here I am. I'm 45 and I'm not baking currently. I do bake every now and then for like church, but I'm tired. I'm tired of the people who think that you're just absolutely doing them a favor by. I'm tired of the people who think that they can bargain with you because you're a home baker or that they're doing you a huge favor. Like it is, yes, we definitely, as a small business, you want people to use your business. That's how you grow. But a lot of my orders that I had, I was known word of mouth. Like I still get calls from years and years and years ago where someone's saying, hey, I've been trying to find you. You did my daughter's 7th birthday party and now it's her sweet 16. And are you still baking? And where are you? Like, I get those. And it makes me feel good because I feel like I what I provided was a memorable experience or added a positive experience to whatever that occasion was. So I love that part of it. But I just didn't want to do the business part of it. Like if I had a bakery and I grew to the point where I was no longer baking and I was only overseeing, like I just wasn't in that space. at the time. I do like to, I've done some virtual cooking classes and I like to do that. Like, I like to share the knowledge and I like to pass it along. But anyway, right now, that's kind of what led me to start life coaching. So I have started to do mindset coaching. And that's just based on things that I know that I'm good at and that I've experienced. Um, like baking, like raising children on your own, like navigating different positions at work, like trying to figure out what it is you want to do. My struggle here today is there's things I want to do, and I'm realizing that because of where I've been, I am in my own way. So recently I went on a trip with a relative, and I haven't done much traveling, but I went on a trip and we were, had a great time. We had, we explored, we went to different areas, um, visited the different sites. And, the second to last night we were there, we were in the hotel room and she kind of looked over at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" I looked at her because I'd been saying the whole time, like, this is great, like, because I don't get out much. She was kind of, was kind of letting her lead, like, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to do? What do you want to do next? And she was great at that. But when she said, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why?" And she said, "You've been sighing a lot." Like, she said, you were doing it last night, and I noticed you doing it this morning, and like, just wanted to see if you're okay. And I was like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just thinking, overthinking." And I realized at that moment I was sighing a lot, and I was trying to convince myself to have fun and to not think about the fact that my kids are so far away, even though they're like 21 and 17 and can be, and are just fine. I was still like trying to focus on where I was and enjoy. But yeah, I was trying to focus on where I was and be present in the moment. And while that comes probably easy for some, it does not come easy for me. I realize that I've never been good at that. I've never even really been good at having fun. And I think that that has a lot to do with certain traumas I dealt with when I was much younger, but that I carried that not only in how I lead my life, but in how I raise my kids. Um, but anyway, purpose of this is just to remind me that I've got a lot of great things going on right now, but at the same time, I am still struggling. Like, I want to be able to just work where I work, preferably for me eventually. Um, and it just and I can just pay my bills and I can just travel and I can have fun. Is that like too much to ask? You know, it is a blessing that I actually could say that I work for a company that I respect, that I actually love. I love my team that I work with. I can see me being there for a very long time, but it doesn't pay all my bills, you know? And the mindset coaching, that's something that's close to my heart. I love talking to people and pouring into people and pulling from my life, giving them advice that I should probably be taking myself. Um, I'm extremely empathetic. I always have been. And I feel like one of my gifts is that I'm just able to see things in a perspective that is unbiased, and just give information and guidance based on fact. It's just something that I've always been told, and it's not until recent that I listened and said, hey, maybe this is my gift. Let me make something of it. So I do. I do look forward to my business growing, but there are still hurdles. There's always more to learn. And sometimes what you have to learn is not always something that's external. Sometimes it's looking inward and trying to figure out, why isn't this working? Why is this pattern happening? Why is it that you're getting better, inching forward and getting better, but you still don't have the freedom to live the life that you want to live. This is me talking to myself. And I'm learning that maybe I do have the freedom. I just don't know how to tap into it. I'm just like jumping in front of me, trying to protect me from something. And I'm like, get out of the way. Like, I'm trying to get over there. So um, it's interesting being at this age because I don't know about anybody else in their 40s or maybe in their 50s. You get to a point where you're looking at the clock and you're like, do I have enough time? Like you see your kids growing and starting their lives, and you're like, do you have enough? Am I going to have enough time to live my life now that I put my entire life on hold for what I felt was most important at the time? Might not have done it the right way, but and looking back, I did a lot of things great. I did a lot of things that I could have done much better, and I did a few things that sucked too. So I don't know. I'm just sharing this video in case there's anybody kind of in the same space. I'm just trying to figure this out, you know. I'm just trying to ask God to lead me, to just guide my steps. I don't need to know exactly how everything's going to turn out, but just shine a light at my feet and tell me which way to go, because this work in 24 hours foolishness is for the birds. It's for the absolute birds. And so here's to day one. Thank you for watching. If this is you, if you have a comment and you want to, if you're going through something similar, put a comment in there. I would love to know that, I know I'm not the only one, but it's always great to share stories or to share that or to see in a comment that someone else has been there and has made it to the other side, or, whatever you got. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like, and I'll see you again soon.